Young Furlow, like white boy with fur coat. Thrift shop, white boy, Joe Cool Burrow. Everything that I say so thorough. Everything I say inferno, make you wanna, yeah, makes you wanna listen. 6556, tell me what's the difference. It's all the same when you stand in the
All right,
business.
guys, welcome back to another episode of Target Talk. As always, we are your hosts. I'm Justin. I got Mike.
What up?
And we got a very special guest in the building with us, Furlow.
What's good?
What's good? That was his song, the I-35 Cypher, off of his The Garden album.
That's right.
Very nice, man. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
I'm good. It's a happy Tuesday, you know. Weather's good. I'm good. Y'all good?
Yeah,
we good, man. We appreciate you coming through, man.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, we'll just hop right in here with some questions. This is very easy, depending
Okay.
on how you feel.
All right.
For those who don't know who Furlow is,
Yeah.
how would you describe yourself to them?
Damn. Nah, that's a pretty easy question, I guess. You know, as Furlow, my biggest thing was always trying to be a voice for people who can't express themselves properly. Maybe not properly, maybe that's not the right word, but don't have the ability to, you know, or don't know how to. And like, that was always for me when I was listening to music, it almost like, damn, I didn't know that I could even feel that way, you know, or I didn't know what it felt to feel that way, you know, and that's always who I try to be, is through music, just trying to be like that vessel for people to understand, listen to, and be like, I relate and I feel the same way he does. And so if I can do that successfully in any sort of way, like as long as I touch one person's life, like that means the world to me. So that's me as an artist, you know. I try to do the best I can. So
Yeah.
Who's some of those artists that were that for you?
man, that's a good question. Growing up, we listened to a lot of music. I got my brother and my videographer, creative director, Jaron, here with me. So growing up, me and Tyler listened to a bunch of different stuff, man. Our parents were big on like classic rock, you know, Van Halen, Journey,
Yep.
classic white people karaoke shit.
Yep.
So, I mean, it was kind of cool, like musically through that, but I didn't really start understanding that it's okay to be vulnerable and to talk about that until I really dove deep into hip hop when it came to like J. Cole or Kendrick, not to talk about like the big three, you know, but even like with Take Care, like I was at a certain age where I was in high school and I was like, I didn't know it was cool to talk about girls like this. Like they broke my heart, you know, it was like, it was just cool stuff like that. And so to be able to relate and express themselves and feel comfortable to do that, like hip hop is really what made me feel okay through that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. So what made you decide you wanted to pursue music?
Yeah, that's another great question. Second question, great.
Hey,
Again, it was like our parents constantly playing music in the house. You know, my mom, surprisingly, my dad was more of like the rocker, like classic rock he was in cover bands and like sing stuff like that. But my mom, she would play like blues music and play Tupac and like really just cool introspective stuff that I was like, I didn't even know this was a real thing. So sorry, what was the question? My bad.
what made you want to get into hip hop or music?
Yeah,
period?
that. I think at such a young age, being surrounded by music, I remember specifically, do y'all know who Poison is?
Yes.
The band Poison?
Yes.
So I used to have like a boombox in my room when I was 7, and my dad was like, listen to the CD, which is so wild because some of those songs were like Talk Dirty to Me and all that stuff, whatever. Sorry, Pops. But I remember listening to it, and there's this specific moment where in one of their songs, you know, it's the classic fade out. You know, the band is still playing, but the engineer just kind of fades out the music. I remember being like 7 and laying in bed listening to it and be like, how do they play it so quietly? Like, how does it go from like all this energy and then all of a sudden it's like the same energy, but it's quieter? Like, how does that work? So from that moment, it just sparked in me like how music is made.
Yeah.
Like, how do you get into that? So really it started with me wanting to be an engineer. So I was like, I want to record. I want to understand like the process that goes into making music. Mm-hmm. And then from engineering, it was producing. So making beats and working with bands and kind of helping them shape a sound that they want, until a point where I was making all these beats, trying to sell them during COVID or pre-COVID, and nobody was really wanting to hop on them, just how the world works. And my brother was like, well, why don't you just go on them and kind of work it out that way? Yeah. So I was like, I've always wanted to be behind the scenes forever. I mean, they know me well. Like, I still kind of do. I still am not like, I don't really see myself as that person. And Jaron always reminds me, he's like, you're cool too, right? Because I'll go to like Pierce Washington, shout out Pierce Scatino. I'll go to their shows and be like, this dude is so dope. Like, oh my God, like he's awesome. And Jaron's like, you are too, man. Like, so I've always wanted to be behind the scenes. That's what kind of got me into music, was the engineering, producing side. But, I had all these influx of music that I made, and it was like, why not just try and go on it? And then I went on it, and obviously the first album sucked. No offense. He was on the first album too. In my opinion, it sucked, but that's just how it is. Your first shit's not gonna be your best shit. That's just how it is. But you just build on it over time. And then I grew to kind of love the ability to express myself through lyrics and kind of be what Furlow is now. It's crazy. I never saw this, 5 years ago, but here we are.
Yeah, right.
With your dad being so into rock and, like you said, being in cover bands, was that ever something that you considered doing before you...
Doing, like, cover bands and stuff?
Well, like, just getting into rock or anything before
I do like rock music. I think that kind of working in that direction would be fun. I'd love to work with a rock band and kind of, like, produce for them. Like, there's been a couple times, like, I've been in studios with bands, kind of help them, like, see their vision through. And I think the mix of genres would be kind of fun. Like, I come from like a very hip hop world when it comes to production, and so bringing that type of element into like a punk band or like a rock band would be really, really tight. We are currently working with my band that y'all saw at the Dallas Entertainment Awards show on making an album live like that.
Oh, okay.
So like hip hop, but it's with live drums, live guitar. So in a way that kind of is rock. You know what I'm saying? Like instead of using samples, like let's just use the band. Like let's kind of convert that way. So no, I've never like wanted to be in a cover band personally, but I would love to work with rock bands. Like I do love that music. I think that's tight.
Yeah. I think that would be cool.
I think it'd be fun.
The
like,
fusion of the sounds would sound good.
Yeah. I want to, any type of genre I'd love to work with, whether it's pop or jazz. Like, let's get in there and just kind of like see what we come up with, you know? Because I think a lot of people don't think that the hip hop is stemmed from so many different genres, like blues, jazz, like old rock, like pop, like. If you go back to like how hip hop started, it was sampling all of those genres. So it's like there is that element in hip hop. Yeah. So to be able to kind of reverse engineer that would be a lot of fun. I think that'd be cool. Yeah.
Would you ever jump on the country wave?
Shit. It depends. Like when you think of country, what do you mean? Like who are we talking?
Let's see, like Post Malone. Okay. Big X, the plug is starting to. He said he's got a country.
Some country samples. Okay, I get that.
Or like hopping on with like Morgan Wallen, something like that.
I think it would be obviously amazing to work with those guys. Yeah. If I ever have the opportunity, I'm more of like a Zach Bryan, like. Kind of Americana, not like honky tonk country, but kind of more like, it's like soul music, but just very like deep rooted in their beliefs and their Southern ways, I guess. I don't know, but I love that. Anything that I can listen to that brings an emotion to me, even if I've never experienced what you're experiencing. But I feel you like that. Any music like that, I love. So, I think like I have a song called like "Take My Pain Away," and that's like an acoustic, just an acoustic guitar, some bass, like just to. When I wrote the song, I was like, I need to express this, but like minimal production. Yeah. And so, through an acoustic guitar, you can get a lot done. Whether that's country or not, I don't know. Like what defines that? but yeah, man, I think it would be sick.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been like not trying to be bound to a genre. Like whatever this song fits, let's make it work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you take us through what your writing, your recording process is like?
Yeah, that's fair. It does vary very often because, like I said, I started off as a producer. So day to day, like my daily routine is just making beats. I'll just cook as many as I'm feeling that day, you know, whatever that number may be. And sometimes I'll make one and then instantly catch a melody in my mind and write to that melody. And it never is write first, production second. Besides Take My Pain Away, as I was talking about that, I wrote that about not knowing what home is, which is kind of crazy because at the time I was in between Dallas, Austin. I was visiting my parents. My grandma was living in Rockwall, like all this different stuff. And I remember writing, and the first line is, I don't know what to call my home. Because I would text my now wife, which was my girlfriend at the time, like, I made it home when I was at my parents' house. But we lived together.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's home? You know, like, is your home where we are? Is your home with your parents? Is your home where your brother stays? Because, you know, when you text people like, I made it home, it's like, what's your home? So I did write that song before I made the production for it, which was very interesting for me. But that is literally like the only song I've ever done that for. But yeah, I always start with production first, kind of catch melodies, kind of run through ideas. Like I'll literally be in the studio like mumbling, record a whole 3 minute of me just kind of mumbling, listen back and be like, I like that mumble. I like the way that melody kind of hit there. Is there words I could fill in, you know, and kind of catch that and write that way. It makes it more fun. It makes it where like you're putting your emotions first. And I feel like anything through music, it should be that way.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just me. You know, there's a lot of great songwriters that just write songs and sell them and people produce around them. And that's great too. You know, I'm just saying what works best for me is to kind of put my feelings and emotions out there and kind of be the vessel for whatever my subconscious is trying to get out, you know? So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of
No,
a
you're
little
good.
bit of a tangent there.
We like the longer answers. It's okay.
Good. Yeah, I get that. I should just be like, what's your recording process? I just write and then I record.
And then that's it.
And that's it. That's a song. But no, being the vessel, I think, is the most important thing. I started this off with your first question saying, I want to be the voice for people who don't know how to express themselves. But that starts with me. Is like, I don't really know how to express myself.
Yeah.
You know, my wife has been working with me. She is a dance movement therapist. So she works in the therapy world, that industry. And as men, we can understand that we grew up kind of shut up, rub some dirt on it.
Yeah.
You know, why are you talking about your feelings? You know, whatever that means, you know. And it took me damn near 30 years of my life to be like, it's okay to talk about my feelings. You know, like a little kid being like, is it okay?
Yeah.
So yeah, if I could be that for anybody, like that's amazing. And that's why I said I try to channel it through my subconscious, because subconsciously we feel all the emotions we feel. You know, there's a book, I forget what it's called, but it's like Your Body Keeps the Score. I think that's what it's called. It's like any emotions that we feel, like mentally we can be like, I got this. Like, I can overcome it. Like, yeah, that shit's fucked up, but like, I got it.
Yeah.
But somehow, like, your body's like, no, you felt that. And so you just kind of like lock it away in the subconscious and don't think about it, because that's what we're taught to do as men in this world. And that sucks.
Yeah.
It really does, because feeling emotions is the best thing we could ever do as human beings. Yeah. So I like to be able to channel that. Just subconsciously I feel a lot, but consciously I'm like, fuck it, you know. So anything I can kind of channel to music is pure and amazing to me, and hopefully somebody's like, I feel you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's real, man.
I appreciate that. I know that was kind of deep, bro. I told you my wife been working wonders on me.
I can definitely tell, man.
Yeah, she was.
I mean, a lot of times with those feelings, you don't even know you're feeling them.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I say. The body keeps the score. You know, it's like some things like trigger these emotions too. It's crazy. Like anybody who's kind of gone through a traumatic experience, like it's as little as like a smell. Yeah. And those thoughts will pop back up. Those memories will pop back up. And it's like, damn, bro. Yeah. Like, I remember growing up, like, the smell of, like, a stale cigarette was, like, very traumatic. For whatever reason. Yeah. And now every time I smell that, I'm like, it kind of takes me back. I'm like, oh, God. Yeah. But then again, what's the first thing I do is I lock it away again. I don't want to think about that. Yeah. I don't want to talk about that. It's like, why? Talk about that. Yeah. Think about that. Work through that. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm saying this now as like trying to be an example, but I still do this shit regularly. Yeah. So I'm not trying to, I'm a hypocrite. Okay. So I'm just being straight up with y'all. Like I'm still trying to figure this shit out, but I'm just glad to even have that thought process in the forefront to be able to try and work through it. A lot of people don't even want to try. It's like trying is the hardest part. Like, you know, like, do your best, bro. That's all you can do. Literally.
Yeah, I think having that knowledge is very important.
Yeah.
Actually working through it, that's the hard part. that's really
100%. Like, you know,
like you know what you're supposed to do, but sometimes you still, you know.
It's like you know what's behind that door. You're afraid to touch the knob. You know, it's like, bro. Have y'all read Atomic Habits? Y'all know that book? No. It's an amazing book, by the way, if y'all haven't read it. I again, hypocrite, I haven't finished it. But the part that I did read, it was talking about creating habits and being able to break habits, you know, negative habits that you have. And one of the habits, he was like, if you want to go to the gym, first step, just drive there. Just drive there, park, and then go home. Do that for a week. And then eventually, on that 7th day, you'll park there and be like, I should go inside. You know, you're starting to create that habit over time, you know? And so I think if you treat that as anything in life, you know, when those thoughts of traumatic experiences pop up in your head, instantly I just want to put them back. I don't want to think about it. But then eventually you're like, let me just think about this shit. Yeah. Let me just try and work this out. And it'll help. It'll help your relationships. And I don't have any kids. Y'all have kids?
I do not.
You have a kid?
One. Yeah.
Boy or girl?
Girl.
How old?
2.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have kids. I really am. I'm really looking forward to it.
This is really great. Definitely recommend.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Shout out. But no, if anything, I just want to correct my traumatic experiences for my kid, and so I can like help him or her or they or whatever they want to be to experience life in a way that I didn't have to. You know, it's okay. Like people, there's this stigmatism of like whatever you're going through, fuck it, everyone's going through shit, and I get that. Everyone is going through shit, but like I need to work what's going through me, you know, to be able to express myself. Like, are y'all religious people?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I know I saw your tattoo. I like that.
Thanks.
I feel like, so I read the Proverbs daily. Shout out Pops. He got me on it a couple years back. If I don't read daily, I feel a difference in myself. I need to fill myself in order to pour myself, if that makes sense. Yeah. I need to fill myself up with, to me, is the Bible, is religion, but whatever that is to somebody, I need to fill myself in order to bring that energy, bring that comfort, bring that positivity or whatever you see to others. Like, if I don't do it myself, I'm doing everyone a disjustice around me. So it starts with us in order to affect the ones around us. Like, we need to be the example. And so it all started with kids. Like, I want to do that for my kid, man. Like, whenever I have my kids, like, I want to be the example that we can get through anything. Like, but you got to work through it. Shit's going to happen. You're going to fuck up. Yeah. It's a part of life. we're human beings. Like, you're gonna mess up. It's okay. But to be like, don't think about it, whatever, bye. Like, no, let's work through it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Let's figure this out. Sorry.
Yeah.
Again, I just feel like sometimes I just get going, but
Man, I feel like we just turned into a therapy podcast.
That's
It feels
okay.
nice,
I
man.
mean, it's fine.
hey,
man.
this is
I
Target
like it.
talk, bro. We got on
Right.
Target.
Man.
Yeah, I will say, like, having a kid has been, like, low-key healing. for
Yeah,
me, you know?
good.
Like, seeing that you can, like you said, have a better life for your child
Yeah.
that you did. So, it's nice, man.
That's good. That's
Like-
good, man. I'm
like,
excited. I'm excited to experience it. And,
You're going to be really ready once you have a kid.
I hope so, man. Again, I told you we're all hypocrites, man. I'm just trying to do the best I can.
As
you
long as
know?
you're making that conscious effort, that's what
That's right.
That's
That's
what
right.
matters, man. So.
It's recent, man. This early, like, January, I went through kind of a mental battle, and again, like, these are all the things we're talking about are things that I've known, like, obviously, like, if you got a problem, you should probably deal with it. Like, I get that. But earlier this year, I kind of went into like a depression state of like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, I just got married in October. I think that kind of sparked the whole thing of like the image of what a man should be for his wife. What is that? It's a person who provides. It's a person who takes care of everything. It's all this stuff, right? Like, that's all men have been taught. Like, you have a wife, you provide, you're the man of the house now. Like, you got to take care of business. And so in January, it kind of hit me hard of like, what are you doing? Are you, I think emotionally, like, I provide a lot, emotional intelligence wise. Like, I make sure we're okay emotionally, but when it comes to music, like, y'all talk to a lot of artists. I know I watched you with Billy White. Shout out Billy White. We got him on the show on Friday. You were saying you make beats, so like, you kind of understand.
Yeah.
I know y'all really should do that intro. I saw that.
That's
I was like,
crazy,
you and Billy
yeah.
would be so tight on the intro of this pod, man. I was just saying.
Yeah.
But just as a music artist, like, if that's your primary focus, that's what you want to do. It is a dedicated grind for a long time before you see financial success to provide financially, right? So my mental state of what a man should be got completely shattered in January, because it was like, you want to be an artist, but like, you're making a fraction of a penny per stream. You have X amount of streams. Like, bro, you're not making shit, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's real.
Yeah.
But I know that I have been put on this earth to be who I am, to express myself musically. I don't necessarily know what that means yet, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's a part of the journey, you know?
Yeah.
So it's not the first time I've had this type of mental dark place of like, what are you doing? Is this really what you want to do? But I believe that is like the earthly possessions kind of taunting me of like, you'll never get this.
Yeah.
So that's, again, I have to fill myself up to pour myself out. Like, spiritually, I know I'm destined to be here. I know I'm here for a reason. But earthly, it's like, who the fuck are you, dude?
Yeah.
Why do you think you can do this? Like, who do you think you are? And it's really easy to fall into that trap, especially if you think money and material things are important,
And the internet.
and the internet, wild place. This is gonna be on it, but y'all are wild. So it's not the first time I've had like this type of dark mental state, but it is the first time that I went through it and decided to make music through it instead of just sit in a room and be like, I'm sad and I don't want to do shit.
Yeah.
This is the first time I'm like, talk about this. Let's talk about this emotional side of what you're feeling. So that's the album we're currently working on, which is phenomenal. We have a lot of songs done on it. We are going to re-record them with the band. So that's going to be exciting. So that's in the future. But yeah, so it's just, it's good. This is the first time that like I felt mentally clear enough to like want to work through it musically.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for people to hear it. Hopefully it helps.
How did that feel working through it musically for the first time?
It felt great. Like, I got done with most of the tracks and I showed Jaron, and he was like, so where are you at with this? Kind of like, is this the wave we're riding on, or is this done? Are we switching gears? Like, what are we thinking? And I was like, honestly, just right now, like, I'm still feeling this way. I feel like I have more to say. Yeah. And so we're on that wave right now. I'm past that mentally, but whenever I listen to it, it takes me back, and I'm like, it's a gift and a curse. Like, I love the fact that I poured emotions out enough to where whenever I listen to it, it makes me think about what I was thinking about. Yeah. Because that's music, it's emotion. But I'm wanting to create kind of like a duality album, because as an independent artist, we constantly go through these battles of like, I was telling Tyler earlier, I was like, sometimes you feel like you're the shit, and sometimes you feel like shit. Mm-hmm. That's just like a constant battle that you're gonna have to face. That never ends. You know, that's human nature. Sometimes you feel amazing. You feel like, I woke up, I got out of bed, and you're walking different. And some days you get out of bed and you're like, I just want to stay here. Yeah. So, I mean, like, I want to create an album that represents that, of the dark side of an independent artist that nobody really wants to talk about. It's the same concept of like, how you feeling today? Oh, I'm fine. It's like, okay. Yeah. Right? Yep. But there's some shit. I want to do that through music. I want to do that through an album, and talk about those things and shed light. So when other people listen to it, like, bro, I feel you. Your first question, I was like, if I have one person come up to me at a show or when the album drops and it's like, I feel you. It's like, thank you. That's reassurance to me. I don't need 100 million people to feel me. I just want to change one person's life today. Like, that's it. Yeah. If we can do that, we're successful spiritually, right? So I don't even know what the question was. But
that question was a long time ago.
My bad, bro. My bad, bro.
But you can see how genuine you are. I can feel that this album will be that.
I hope so, man. I hope so. Yeah, we're pushing for like a summer release. But again, I mean, who knows what we'll be feeling in 5 months? Yeah. Shit happens.
Well, we'll talk about the music you have dropped. Okay. You just dropped Heritage.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? How's that been doing?
I love Heritage. That was the first time, not the first time, but it was a really cool experience being able to work with my piano player. His name's Shelton. Shelly Keys. He also goes by Chester, which is wild. I don't know where he got that. I think it was his dad's name or something. Sorry if I messed it up. We got him in the studio and just kind of had him lay down some keys, and we made that song, and it was awesome. Again, last year I just got married, so I was coming off like the feeling of love and emotion, and I was like, yes, I love this feeling, like this is sick. So we were working on a love album, like not sappy, like you're my life, my love, no. But again, it was talking about like the emotions of like the battle of love, like you're not going to agree on everything, but I love you for who you are. Like we may not have the same beliefs or the same ideas of what life is, but like you're my partner now, So I wanted to talk about that. So we made a couple tracks that way. But again, in January, this mental state happened, and I wrote music on a whole different wave. Yeah. And I was like, I think we should ride with that for now. No disrespect to Love or my wife. She understands. But yeah, so we got in the studio with Heritage. And so Heritage was supposed to be on that Love album.
Oh, okay.
This is originally, so it got dropped as a single because of what that song is talking about. Like, have y'all really listened to it?
Yeah.
What do y'all think it's about? If I had to put y'all on target. If y'all don't know, I'm not gonna be like.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I listened to it on the way in, so it's kind of fresh, but like,
yeah. You're
I
good.
know it's about your
promise.
wife.
You could literally be like, bro, I've never heard that before. Please
No,
talk about
I
it.
have
It's okay. It's all good.
I mean, I could definitely feel the love from the song.
Okay.
And then I realized you were married, and then I was like, all right, this song makes sense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't pinpoint exactly what it's about.
yeah,
You're good. I wrote this song about our first time hanging out with each other.
Okay.
And kind of all the things that kind of go through your mind, like, you know, when you first hang out with a woman or man or whoever you want to hang out with, you kind of talk about like surface level shit, but also like sometimes, like especially if you're drinking, it kind of gets deep. And so our first time ever is so funny. Y'all know Select Start, the bar in Deep Ellum?
I'm not.
Yeah.
With all the arcade games and stuff.
Oh.
So they had another location before they moved to this one. And so the first time me and my wife now hung out was at the old Select Start, and they played music like super loud that day. And we were talking about like our entire childhood and our religious beliefs and all this stuff. And it's just so funny to think about because it was like, I love Jesus. You know, like we were like yelling at each other because the bar was so loud. It was just funny. Regardless, the song's called Heritage because it was like what I was thinking when we first talked to each other. So it's like, I'm loving your heritage, loving your mind, loving your body, loving your hair again, part of me staring, part of my arrogance. And it was so just like everything that's going through my mind. Like I'm loving your heritage, I'm loving your mind, I'm loving your body, I'm loving your hair again, part of me staring. Like, you know, it's just kind of like all like the insecurities of like that first conversation, you know. The first verse is like, you know, it's that late night feeling, you know, heart wide open, soul just peeling, you know. It's just kind of like that first date vibe. So that's where Heritage stemmed from, was I was trying to like remember our first conversation with each other and how I was feeling. Yeah. And so that Love album will eventually come and Heritage will probably be on it. But at that time when we were making that music, Heritage was such a fun song, and I believe it's a great song. Yeah. So fun to play live too with the band, like. So we decided to drop that with the intention of the Love album coming, but it will eventually.
Well, you played that at the.
That's right. I opened up the set with it.
That's right.
Yeah, it just dropped like I think maybe I don't know. It was unreleased at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't even out yet. We just got done recording it. But yeah, man, that's a fun track. I just love that kind of neo soul, like just kind of talking. Yeah. I'm not rapping. I'm not singing. Yeah. I'm just kind of like melodically talking, and I think that's a very fun way to express myself because it puts no pressure on like, am I being a good rapper? Yeah. Am I singing well? It's like, bro, you're just expressing yourself. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Well, you dropped The Garden in December.
Yeah, man.
Great album.
Thanks, man.
First of all, we have a playlist. Man. I picked Hidden Gems.
Thanks, man.
It's one of my favorite songs.
Shout out Jay. Shout out Jay Vasquez, man.
Very well put together. The people you got on there, artists you have on there, features. Yeah, great choice.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a super fun album to make. Yeah. Are you asking to talk about
it was like
I didn't want to just dive into it.
I just want to big it up real quick.
No, you're good.
Like some artists, it takes a couple years to get albums out.
Yeah.
How long did this album take? Was it one of those that you sat on for a little bit?
No, that's a good question too.
Your overall feeling too.
Yeah, man, there's a lot. That album was like the epitome to me of what Texas hip hop is right now, in the underground at least. When it comes to albums, like I try and get them out as quickly as possible because again, I talk about how I am emotionally. Like we're working on Love album in December, and then January I feel completely different. So it's like I'm quick on like how am I feeling right now. Yeah, I may not feel the same way in a couple months. So like I want to get this done. And I was super surprised because it was the first time I was able to collaborate with that many artists, you know, let alone just one or two. And it all started with, if y'all are ever in Austin, there's a open mic kind of setup called the Pre-Roll by Jay Soldier. Shout out Jay. And that's where I met most of these guys. Like, I first moved to Austin and I knew about the Pre-Roll for a minute. So I went to the Pre-Roll and I met Q the Elevated, Jay Soldier, who's also featured on the Garden. And then they had a Pre-Roll in Dallas, and that's where I met Scatino. That's where I met Pierce Washington. That's where I met Jay Vasquez. I met him in Austin. They had a showcase, but it was all through like networking for real. And it's so crazy because I would go up to these guys like, hey, I'm Furlow. Like, they don't know who the fuck I am. You know, some of them did, which was very surprising to me because like still to this day, if anyone's like, I know who, I went up to Billy White at the award show, and I was like, what's up, Billy? Like, I'm Furlow. And he's like, I know who you are, bro. I'm like, damn. We never met, but like, it just still blows my mind. But I met all these guys through this open mic and just networked. And I've always wanted, and this is the material side of me, I've always wanted to be a good rapper. I've always wanted to prove myself as a rapper. But it's like, why? You know, it's like, just make music how you want to make music. But when I was making the Garden, I produced the album, so I was like making these hard beats, and I was like, dog, I just want to rap. Like, I just want to like rap my ass off. And then on top of that, I was like, I know all these guys. It's like, I wonder if I could get them on them. And that process was so surprisingly fast that it blew my mind. Because again, I was like, I had my verse, I made the production, and I found a system where at first I had all the beats. I had 8 to 10 beats of what the Garden was. And I would send them to the artists. Say, hey, I have this beat pack. If you want to record on them, let me know. And then I was going to take what they sent back, put my verse on it, and then that would be what the Garden was. So kind of let them set the narrative of the project. That was my original idea. So I sent them the beat packs, and that process is what took the longest, actually, because like they're just listening to beats. Everyone has a life. Everyone has a job, you know, like going through life. They're like, yeah, I'll get to it, whatever. And so that was like a couple months. And then I was like, okay, I gotta kind of rewire how I'm going to brand this, especially if it's my album. Like, I need to kind of think about this differently in the sense of like how I want this to be. Like, what do I want the concept to be? Not like let them set the narrative. So I took those same beats and wrote verses and hooks and left an open verse with all of them. So I set the concepts. I set the ideas of what these songs should be, sent them to them and be like, hey, I got an open verse. If you want to hop on, like feature, like, let's work this out. Yeah. Got back within 3-4 days. Each track, you know, it's like, if it's a lot easier if you already know the concept to be able to express yourself that way, if that makes sense. Yeah. So by giving them the concept, they can express and they can catch a vibe and be like, oh, he's talking about this. Okay, I can write about that. So whenever I started doing that whole process took like a couple months, and then the album was done. Yeah. So having 8 different artists on there, being able to get the whole project produced, mixed, and mastered and done within a couple months was mind-blowing to me. But that was just an album to me that I was like, I want to be a part of this. Yeah. I want to be a part of this rap scene that's going on in Dallas, going on in Austin and San Antonio. That's why I-35 Cypher features an Austin artist, a Dallas artist, a San Antonio artist, like all down I-35. Like, there's so much dope-ass hip-hop that's going on. Like, I need to catch a wave. Yeah. And so I kind of wanted to give the world an example of, like, there are dope dudes out here. Yeah. So if I could help, we're all part of the Garden, right? Like, we're all flowers in this garden of hip hop or whatever you want the Garden to be as a listener. Yeah, it was super fun to make.
Yeah. And you also did, correct me if I'm wrong, Furlow and Friends, was that kind of accompanying the album?
So we did interviews with some of the guys to just kind of shine light on them. Like, I understand it's Furlow's album, but again, whenever we were shooting content or whenever we were recording the tracks, I was telling them, like, again, like, yes, it's Furlow's album, but I want y'all to treat it like it's yours too. Like, we're all part of the Garden. It all stemmed from the mindset too of, like, as independent hip hop artists, we try to move vertically independently. And it's like, if you try and work horizontally, you'll get vertical a lot faster. You know, if you work wide, you can rise quicker. You know, the high tide raises all boats or ships or whatever that quote is, you know. So that was kind of the mindset of it. It's like, if I can give y'all an opportunity to express yourselves, that's amazing. So, like, this is our album. So yeah, the Furlow and Friends was kind of like, let's talk about Q. Let's talk about Pierce. Like, give them the opportunity to shine. Like, these guys are dope, man. I fucking love these guys.
Yeah, the music scene in Texas and Dallas specifically. I mean,
man.
Through this podcast, we've met some dope artists out here.
Y'all know Pierce?
We've met Pierce.
We've talked to Pierce. We need to get him on the show.
Y'all gotta get Pierce on here. Dude, I call him Prince. We call him Prince. The way he just floats around sometimes. Some, like, I swear, like, you won't even know he's in the building, and then all of a sudden he'll just be right behind you. I'm like, bro, you literally levitated over here. No, Pierce is cool, man. Scatino also. Y'all gotta get Scatino.
Yeah, we need to get Scatino.
Yeah, he's a dope guy.
Yeah. We're making our way there.
Good. Good, man. I'm proud of y'all. This is sick.
Well, thank you, man.
Yeah.
So we like we said, we did meet you at the Dallas Entertainment Awards, man. How was that experience like, and how did it feel to be nominated for Best Music Video?
Very cool. Shout out Desi, man. Desi's like, the second time I've ever performed was Desi was DJing at this place called Wits End, which is closed down now. R.I.P. Wits End. My brother Tyler, he was really good friends with Desi, and Tyler has always been advocating the music. And told Desi, like, yo, my brother makes music. Like, if you have any opportunity for him to perform, like, give him a shot. And my second show ever was while he was DJing. I just got up there. He played the beats, and I rapped and sang, did whatever. And ever since then, me and Desi fucking been kicking it, bro. I love Desi. Desi, we have a really awesome relationship. I helped him produce his newest album, Dirty Laundry.
Okay.
So I did a couple of productions on that, was with him in the studio while we worked on it. And so he's done a really good job with the Dallas Entertainment Awards. Yeah. I'm really proud of where it came, even from last year. I don't know, did y'all go last year?
No, we didn't go last year.
What is it, 2023 or 24? Yeah, my bad.
It might have been 3.
Yeah. Was it 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the growth from that to this previous one was incredible. Like, I was like, oh my God, like, okay, I can't wait for the next one. Like, where are we going to go? Yeah, it was an honor to be nominated it was Music Video of the Year. Shout out Jaron. He directed it, shot it. This dude's a talent. Jaron C. Cass on Instagram. Everybody hit him up, please. Yeah, it was a really cool experience. And then the showcase was sick.
Yeah.
Like where we met. I was surprised at how big the turnout was. Not that it shouldn't be that big, obviously, but it was just like, I remember when me and the band got on stage, like, they had that garage door open, and there was people, like, the whole room was crowded, and then, like, outside, everyone was watching, and I was like, oh, this is fun. Yeah. Like, as a performer, like, I've done shows where there's 5 people, and then I've done shows where there's 100 plus, and it's like, there's a difference, energy-wise. Like, as the performer, when you feel the reciprocation of the crowd, it makes the performance better. It's not that you can't have that same energy from 6 people, you know, because if those 6 people are vibing their ass off, you are too. But yeah, that whole showcase and the award show was sick. We didn't win, but shout out to the winners, man. Yeah, sick.
Yeah, we feel the same way. We didn't win either, but, you know, shout out.
Always next year, man.
Yeah, it's always next year.
Exactly.
For sure.
Yeah. What can people expect from, like, a Furlow set?
Oh man, I always try to be authentic. Like, I know a lot of the stuff that we have on Instagram is very, like, is very polished, and I love that. I think that it's so cool to be like cinematic, you know, and serious. But Trey, who I actually am when I go to sleep at night, I just like to have fun, bro. Like, so when I'm on stage, I just like to kind of goof around, like drink a beer on stage, like have fun. Especially, I love performing with a band. Like, I've been spoiled, bro, because my first sets, whatever, were just DJ and a mic, you know, and those are fun. Like, you can definitely like catch a vibe doing that. But when you have the energy of a live band playing hip hop music, for some reason, that just like gets me going, dude. Yeah. So I want to do a lot more shows with the band. But yeah, I think it's just being genuine, just kind of goofing. Yeah. I think people would like to see that more. So, that's what you can and will expect from a Furlow show.
Yeah, as someone who's seen you perform, I can definitely get a relatable vibe when I saw you up there.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we were having fun that night, bro.
Definitely a personal vibe.
I hopped in the crowd. We were singing "We Outside," even though we were inside.
You had the Modelo.
That's it. Yeah, I think it's kind of tight. Like, I think a lot of, especially myself, sometimes I take it like too seriously. Yeah. You know, like, and that's good. It's a serious thing. It's a serious job. Like, you seriously want to be good at this, you know? But bro, get up there, like, you like that, drink Modelo, go drink a Modelo, rap a little bit, sing a little bit, vibe out. It's all good, man. Heritage, like I said, wasn't even out yet, and it was my opening song, and so it's a very fresh song. So I sang the first chorus, and then I forgot the first verse. So I sang the second verse as the first verse, and then left the second verse just open. But the band was just vibing. Yeah. So like no one even noticed. Yeah. So it was like, that's cool, right? Like, it was just like a genuine, authentic moment. I didn't I fucked up the words. It was just like, bro, we're here. Yeah. Let's just have fun, you know? So you're going to mess up. You're going to forget the lyrics. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, how did you and the band come together?
Man, that was like, everything was kind of like cherry picked in a weird way. Again, through Desi. I did the Deep Ellum Arts Festival 2 years ago, and I've never performed with the band before. And I was like, I really want to do the show, and I really want to do it with the band. So the day before, Desi was playing, and his bass player, Love, was jamming on bass. And after the show, me and Love got together, and he's been my bass player ever since, which is sick. Shout out Love. He's awesome. Great guy, great vibe. He's a wildcat, bro. But yeah, everybody just kind of slowly came, like, and then later we needed a drummer, and so Tyler hit up somebody that knew this drummer. He showed up. We've been playing ever since. The piano player I actually found on someone's Instagram story, which is wild. This guy the piano player was at a bar playing piano, and this one guy that I follow was filming him play. And so I hit up that guy, and I was like, who's this guy on the piano? And he's like, let me find out. So he went and got his information, then I hit him up, and then I was like, do you want to come play? And he was like, yeah, we've been playing ever since. That was like a year or so ago. How did we meet Ricky? Also, so 2 years ago, I did Deep Ellum Arts Festival last year too, and Ricky, the guitar player, hit me up and was like, hey, I see you're playing the Deep Ellum Arts Festival. Is there any way I can play independently? Like, I play guitar, I sing. Is there any way, like, how do I get in on this? And I was like, I have no control of booking the artist, but like, I'm looking for a guitar player if you want to come play with us. And he was like, sure. No, we've been playing ever since. Like, nice. It was very like not all at once. Yeah. It was in sporadic. These all guys just came together. And when we're in the studio together, it's so much fun, man. Like, I'm so blessed to be able to have a group of guys that see my vision for a track and want to see it through as much as I do, as well as they get along with each other. Like everything just kind of gelled. It was like super, super wild experience for me. But it all just so happened like in a weird way, but it worked out. And I'm so happy about it. It's crazy.
Man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that's my love story to the band.
Yeah.
I think it makes it better too when everybody gels and everybody gets along
100%,
together.
bro. Yeah, we're all goofing, bro. Like sometimes it has to be like, all right, guys, we need to do something. We need to put it work because we're all just cracking jokes, like hanging out, bro. Like, no, these guys are sick.
I think it's so important to just be able to reach out to people. Just hit them up and see if they're interested. That's
it. Yeah. That's all you gotta do, and you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are scared to put themselves out there, which is fair. I understand. I understand. It's a very vulnerable place, but like you'll never. I'd rather do it and fail than not to ever do it.
Exactly.
Like, so you might as well try.
Yeah. The way I look at it is the worst they can say is no.
That's it, and you're right back where you were to begin with.
Yeah, and you're fine.
I'm right back in the spot I was to begin with. So what's the point? Yeah. Like, you might as well ask.
I mean, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Man. Damn, dude.
But, hey,
I got that tatted on my back.
That's dope.
I don't, but that
would have been dope, man. I believed you.
I was like,
on my back, so whoever's behind me can read that.
Keep them motivated.
Like, what are you trying to tell me here?
Right. Hey. Damn, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh, man. All right. Top 3 favorite artists.
Damn. Right now?
Right now.
You do.
Well, whatever.
I want to know current and all time.
Yeah.
Damn. Like, who I'm finding the most inspiration from at this current moment? John Bellion. Don't know John Bellion?
I've heard of him.
Swear to God.
Yeah.
You know John Bellion?
No, I don't know John Bellion.
Dude, I'm about to walk out right now. No, I'm just kidding. John Bellion is super talented.
Okay.
He just dropped a song called Wash.
Okay.
I gotta listen to it as soon as I walk out the door. No, I'm just kidding. But I find a lot of inspiration through him. He's a dope guy. Dejan, y'all listen to Dejan?
I know the name.
Bro, I'm about to put you on game today, dude.
Sounds like it, man.
None of this is like traditional hip hop too, because like I find the most inspiration like not really through hip hop, which is actually kind of crazy. John Bellion, Dejan, and then Zach Bryan. We were just talking about it. Like he's such a great songwriter. Being able to express yourself like that is something that I want to channel. Like I don't want to make that music, you know, but I mean I would love to. He makes good music, but yeah, inspirations like that is cool. I've been listening to like a lot of Miles Davis too. So like wherever you can feel something, that's just kind of where I'm at. All time. That's a tough.
That's tough.
It's tough.
Top 3 all time. Damn, I know as soon as I leave here, I'm gonna be like, I should have said that. First thing that popped up, what really got me into hip hop, like what made me really fall in love with hip hop was our older brother, Corey. He would drive us to school. I was in like first grade, and it was like Carter 1.
Okay.
Like, so Lil Wayne for sure. I think all time, like he had that significant run.
Oh yeah.
His newer stuff, I get it. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Mm-hmm. Yep. Not for me, but I get it. But yeah, he was a genius in that time. I think one of our first CDs we ever bought was Carter 3. Like, bro, we used to bump that till it broke. Lil Wayne. Man. Mac Miller. I know that's such like a cop-out answer, though.
No, you haven't said the cop-out answer yet.
What's the cop-out? Drake?
No.
Kendrick?
Nah.
Who's the cop-out? Say it.
Eminem.
Oh, no. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I've literally, that is the cop-out answer.
That's definitely a cop-out.
I met someone the other day, and they're like, you rap? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you like Eminem? I'm like, no. I'm not Eminem, man.
Yeah.
No disrespect. Dope guy.
Yeah.
You know, he did his thing. Shout out Dr. Dre.
Yep.
I like early Eminem shit.
Yeah.
I like it when he was like talking about some scary shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, the Marshall Mathers EP, the Slim Shady Show, I think that's what it was called. Like Superman, all, like those early 2002, 2003 Eminem, like that shit was tight. No, definitely Mac Miller. I think to me that's such a cop out answer because like I feel like the type of music I make is very like Mac Miller esque. So it's like obviously you're gonna say Mac Miller, but
that's a great answer.
I love
Yeah,
Mac
Mac
Miller's
Miller.
great.
Ain't nothing wrong with having him.
all right, bet. I thought maybe I took that a little too deep.
You're safe
if,
here,
if
man.
you did start out with Eminem, I'm like, oh,
get off.
We're good here.
We're
See you
good.
later.
Deuces.
like, just stop right there. Whatever.
But no, for sure, Mac, man.
Yeah.
I think specifically Circles,
Yeah.
like that opened me up to, oh, you can do this too. Like coming off of Swimming, he kind of touched on it, like Come Back to Earth. You know, he kind of touched on that more singing, just music. Like when I think of music, like I think of like, I don't think of beats, you know, like I think of just like, damn, like I know that they were just playing that shit live. Like that's so cool. Damn. So Wayne, Mac, who would be it? Who? I mean, it would kind of have to be, right? Damn, I'm gonna have to say Drake.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, do y'all? I don't necessarily know if we want to go here, like the whole Drake Kendrick thing.
Yeah, I'm down. If
Yeah, that's where you want to take
All right.
it, man.
Well, what do y'all think? What's y'all's opinions on it?
Well, Kendrick won,
Okay.
but it's at the end of the day, it's a rap battle,
Yeah.
and it's just a beef. And I'm still going to listen to Drake.
You listen to Drake or Kendrick more?
It's about even for me.
Yeah.
Truthfully, like I don't want to make that like a cop out answer.
I know,
But
man. I think I set the narrative of cop outs.
Well,
I'm
I'm
sorry.
saying like the older Drake. I mean, you know, that's better Drake.
What about you? What you got?
I listen to Kendrick more.
Okay.
Obviously Kendrick won the beef, but I don't like the tribalism
Yeah.
that happens
Yeah.
with the
Talked
beef.
about
Like
that.
I get
I'm not team this or team that. I'll still listen to Drake. You know, I love Nokia.
Yeah. What the fuck the function? Yeah, man.
I'm not ever gonna stop listening to somebody just because they're
I get
battling
that.
with somebody.
And I don't like the idea that people do that. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna listen to Kendrick one, whatever.
They don't know us, man. They ain't gonna.
I do have a hot take. It's probably not that hot, but I think "Family Matters" was the best song in the beef. Is that hot? Is that a hot take?
It's not a hot take. It's
kind of sizzling a little bit.
a little bit.
I think it didn't. I think it didn't get the exposure that it needed. Yeah. I remember when Family Matters dropped. I was like, we played that shit like 20 times back to back. Then the video came out. And I was like, okay, now we're watching this 20 times. But then it just so happened like 6 hours later, he dropped Meet the Drams.
You hear that piano from Alchemist, and it's like, okay.
And then so it was like, so it just deaded that whole wave.
Yeah.
But like, go back and listen to Family Matters, bro. That is such a hard song. Like he bodies everybody, and it kind of like. It kind of sucks because at the end he's like, "This shit's dead now."
That's the problem.
And it was like, "Nah, it wasn't, bro. It wasn't, bro. But it could have been."
That's what makes it like Family Matters is top 3 of this song.
What's 2?
I don't know. It's probably top 2. I got Euphoria. Then I got
you got man. I couldn't even ride with Euphoria still to this day.
But the confidence at the end of Family Matters, like you said.
Yeah.
You did.
Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone go hand him a Grammy right now. Dude, that's so hard. And then he won like 5 Grammys. So he kind of manifested that for him. But.
Yeah. But I mean, I think overall it was a great battle to watch as a hip hop fan.
Yeah.
Did y'all see at this recent Grammys what Kendrick was wearing? Did y'all dive that deep into it?
Canadian tuxedo.
The Canadian tuxedo. I was like, this dude's trolling.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because like, why else would he be wearing all denim?
Yeah.
And then you start to think about it. He's wearing that Canadian tuxedo. Yeah. That's crazy. But I think all it takes is I don't think that this Party album with Drake is what's going to like bring him back.
No.
I think it kind of like opened people's eyes. Like, oh yeah, Drake is still good.
He still got hits.
But I need like a Nothing Was the Same.
Oh,
give me one of them. Talk of, you know, get me back on that worst behavior, you know? Nothing Was the Same to me was super inspirational album. I love that album.
Yeah.
That's a dope album.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're talking about top 3. Wayne, Mac, Drizzy Drake, check me out. Coming live from the motherfucking north side.
What about on the production side? Who's some of your top 40?
40.
Okay.
40. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, damn. You don't need to listen to John Bellion. He produces all of his stuff too. 40, John Bellion. I mean, Mac produced a lot of his stuff too, which is tight. I love that. If we're talking like old school producers, I liked the way Dilla chopped samples and drums because it was always off. Like he never quantized anything, never had anything on beat. It was like all by ear. And so it kind of gave that soul feeling because it was like the snare isn't right on the 3, you know, it's a little bit before, a little bit after, but it created that raw element. I always like to do that sometimes when I'm making drums. I'm like, just try and play it, you know, no metronome, just vibe with the music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tyler's giving me hints over there. Rick Rubin, but the thing about Rick Rubin is that he doesn't play anything.
Yeah.
He's just like a spiritual guru in the studio, you know? Like he's just barefoot and all white. Like, yeah, this is tight. That would be fun. Yeah. I would love to get there eventually. You know what I'm saying? There was, y'all know who Benny Blanco is?
Yeah.
So Benny Blanco did a lot of shit with Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
In Ed Sheeran's early days. They're probably still working, but he was telling a story of how they were working with Rick Rubin. And they played Rick Rubin a song, and Rick was like, that's tight. And they could just tell by his face, like, there was something wrong. And they were like, what's wrong with it? Like, what's going on? And then he just goes, you'll figure it out. And then just walked out the room. And they were making mixing it, changing it, because they thought it was already perfect. So they changed, like, everything about the song and made it what they think it is. And then he walked back in and was like, sounds good. And they're like, bro, what do you want from me? Like, what's going on? Sorry, but Rick Rubin, I mean, he's worked with so many artists too. Like, again, like he's worked with Ed Sheeran, and then he did that System of a Down album. Like he did Chop Suey. It was like, what the fuck? He did the Red Hot Chili Peppers album. He worked with Johnny Cash on his last album. Like, that would be so much fun. Yeah. Like, just to be able to be in the room. And he just trusts his ear, and people trust his ear. And then you got to think about 99 Problems, Jay-Z. Yeah. You crazy for this one, Rick? Like, that's awesome, bro. Like, he can just kind of dip into each world he wants to. Like, so definitely, like, overall goal, I would love to be able to just walk in rooms and be like, it's good. And then walk out.
Yeah.
Sure.
But we'll get there. Yeah, I want people to question it. You know, is it good? I don't know. But, yeah. I would say production-wise, like Rick, 40, Mac, John Bellion, yeah, those guys are sick.
Yeah.
When I was on your YouTube and I saw that you made beats. You had tight beats on there.
Yeah, man.
I was very happy to see because I feel like that's a lost art now.
Yeah, man. I'm tight beating.
No one's making tight beats somewhere. Have you ever had people in your comments like typing out their songs, you know, how people doing the type beat?
Oh, you mean like them writing their lyrics? Nah, not yet. I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. I hope one day. That'd be kind of tight.
Yeah, because it's kind of come with it, man.
The
awful verses in the comments.
The trash ass verses. Hey, they're doing their thing, you know. They got to figure it out. But no, I mean, I'm really trying to like figure out how can I expand my net worth. So I mean, if I can produce, like make type beats, you know, like do that. I've sold a couple. I don't think that I've put enough energy into it to really like ride that wave completely. But also like I just started mixing and mastering for other artists, like paying for those. Like how can we use what I can do and potentially profit off of it in any direction. Like, okay, you can sing or you can rap, you can make beats and engineer. Those are 3 different avenues. So capitalize on all 3. Yeah. I think I do need to dive more deeper into the production of the type beats. I mean, dude, when I first started, I mean, you kind of go down this rabbit hole of like the top 1% of BeatStar producers, and they're making like millions of dollars. Yeah. And it's like, yo, what the fuck? Because they're making Drake type beats. It's like, this is insane. So it's like, that's definitely a market to be tapped in. That doesn't mean you're going to be number 1, but there's money to be made.
Yeah, for sure.
And then with the mixing and mastering services, like, I'm just happy to help. Like, if I can help, if you want to make a song, like, let's make one. That sounds fun. Yeah. Let's do that. So,
for sure, man. Hey, who's a dream feature, dead or alive?
Mac.
Okay. Just Mac.
Man,
riding that Mac wave, man.
I think John Bellion. Man, y'all gotta listen. I'm sorry, we were just listening to John Bellion on the way over here. John Bellion will be tight. Mac will be tight. Dead or alive? Who's dead? Tyler just showed me a picture of Kanye. I don't know, bro. I don't know at the moment.
You know,
old Kanye
might be hot.
Yeah, the old Kanye. Chop up the soul Kanye. Yeah, I don't know, man. Y'all see him in that recent clip?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is he talking to?
Academics.
Yup, with the black hood on.
Yeah.
And it kind of got to the point to where I was like, this shit ain't funny anymore.
Yeah.
To me, like, it was funny, like, the first couple rants and stuff. It's like, oh, man, this dude just... You almost kind of, like, admire it a little bit. Like, he's just speaking his mind. It was cool. I think once the Super Bowl thing happened, I was like, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We're kind of getting a little weird.
And then it kept getting weird.
It got weirder. Yeah, which I didn't think it was possible. But.
Even under the black Klan's outfit, he had the swastika chain.
He did. I didn't
the Sean John shirt. I'm like, come on, man. I'm like, nah. You just, yeah. It's bad.
Man.
I don't want to see a Kanye feature, man, with you.
Nah.
I'm gonna just be real.
Maybe Diddy, though. No, I'm just if I get a Sean John sponsorship. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think Mac, John Bellion. I think Chance the Rapper would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I really do. Like, where is he at? Does anybody have tabs on Chance?
You know, I don't know, man. That after that Big Day album,
yeah, there was a couple songs on there that were all right.
They were all right,
but I think he just came out too hot. You see that with a lot of artists sometimes. Of like their first shit's their best shit.
Yeah.
You know what was it, Acid Rap?
Yeah, that's a rap.
Man, that was too damn good.
He followed up well with the Coloring Book.
Coloring Book was tight.
And then
that was like the commercial Acid Rap. You know what I'm saying? It kind of took that same, because I remember like, did y'all ever listen to like live mixtapes, Dat Piff? Like, oh yeah, both of y'all were like, dog.
Yeah, come on. We from the LimeWire days. What you mean?
Who is? Oh, Frank Ocean would be a lot of fun.
Frank Ocean.
If you can get him out to make a song,
I mean, you got to
wherever he's at. Yeah. Oh, Frank would be tight. No, but with the Acid Rap, I think what was so cool about it is because it was like a mixtape. You know, like in that time period, like 2013, maybe even earlier than that. That was such a cool project. And so I think it's just kind of hard to beat stuff like that. And you see, I'm trying to think of like another example. Can y'all think of one? Like their first album was like, or their first project was like their best shit. And it's just kind of hard.
I think Cudi.
Yeah, that's a perfect example.
He still has
that
success,
is a perfect example, bro. Yeah, Man on the Moon 1.
Yeah.
Was like shit you never heard before. You know, like that shaped Kanye's sound. Like that's how you know if it's influential, if Kanye's like, I need to bite your shit. Even though he signed him, which is incredible. Man on the Moon 2 was also tight. But yeah, Cudi, I would love to old Cudi.
Yeah.
I do. I still listen to Kid Cudi. Like, if he drops something, I'm going to listen.
Yeah, I'll still give it up.
Oh,
But damn, son.
yeah.
Give me that. Give me that Man on the Moon. You know?
Yeah.
Give me that man. Every time said pause. Give me that Man on the Moon. Pause. Yeah, Cudi was like that too.
Yeah.
But I think it would be fun to feature with Chance. But I think Frank, alive, if he is still alive. Hey,
He's elusive.
Conspiracy.
So
I don't know. Mac, who you about to show me? I can't see that. Asher Roth.
Okay.
I love college. That's good.
Man.
That was fun. I'm trying to think of someone who's dead. It's kind of.
You said Mac.
Oh yeah, but he's still alive in my heart.
Okay.
That was beautiful, man.
Damn, yeah. Not that I forgot, obviously, but I'm trying to think of like someone outside of hip hop though, because I know that they're. If y'all haven't heard Dijon is super tight. I would love to feature with him too.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Any local artists that you haven't worked with that you want to work with?
Billy White.
Hey, y'all
I got a whole list. Let me pull it up.
Oh, okay.
Nah, you and Billy would go hard.
Yeah.
For real.
Dog. Yeah, we're putting on a show Friday. I couldn't make it because I got work, but I would love to work with him. Let me find this. All right, so these are the guys who are currently on my radar that I haven't worked with yet. I got Mike Molino in Austin. If y'all don't know who that is, and you put you on game. D Harmon, he's a good friend of mine. We just never worked together. Ape Sterling, Oscar De Lauder, No ID, Billy White, Black Chow out of Austin, Devi Stones here.
Yep.
Y'all don't know Devi. Devi's tight.
It's tough.
Ken LaFleur, John Aqua, and Lex A with 2 A's.
Okay.
And PSO Kwama. Yeah, he's playing Friday too. Yeah, man. I'm thinking about potentially doing like another garden type concept, but working with, 8 to 10 completely new artists,
Yeah.
and kind of building it out that way. But yeah, those are the people who are on my radar right now. I'm tapped in. I'm listening to them. Like, we don't know each other yet, but I'm manifesting that we're going to work together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I think that would be a cool concept to make just the garden series.
Yeah, just Garden Volume 2, and as I grow, I'm going to meet other people and just, if I can just not only build my network up like that, but be able to give other people a platform, like, that's so awesome to me. Like, I just want to get the best out of y'all. And that's what was so cool about the Garden, the OG, is because, like, each beat was kind of, like, tailored to that person. Like, I knew what Scatino would sound good on. I knew what Jay would sound good on. Like, here, I made this. And that's what made it easier for them to send it back so quick, because, like, I already know that you're going to fuck with this. And so if I can kind of, like, that's the producer side of me, is, like, I already kind of know what sound you would sound good on.
Yeah.
Let's make this work. So if I can do that with 10 other artists, that'd be super awesome.
Well, if you need me and Mike to hop on a track.
Bro, come on.
We can do a little right on target cipher.
I'm mad at it, bro. Come on. Y'all think I'm playing, bro.
Hey, man.
You good at freestyling? You good at freestyling?
Nah, man, I got to write mine down.
I feel like you could freestyle your ass off, bro. I don't know why. You got that freestyle energy.
I'm going to start practicing right now.
You got that freestyle energy? He does.
It's crazy.
He's at the party just in the back. Just that's all he's doing all day at the party. Just freestyling, bro.
Just rapping in his head.
Just battling. Just in his head.
Man, growing up, man, that's what I did. I was talking to Mike about this. I think everybody as a kid, man. I just get the instrumentals and I would
That's it, bro. In the back of Brandon's white Charger. Shout out Brandon. We used to just go park in the woods, light up blunts, pass them around, freestyle all night, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, like, yeah, boy. Yeah, no, shout out Brandon, bro. Shout out Sawyer Swag on the beat. Yeah, that was fun times, man.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess before we get out of here, man, where can the people find you at?
Yeah. Spotify, Apple, Instagram, YouTube, eHarmony. No, I'm just playing. ChristianMingle.com. No, I'm just playing.
Farmers Only?
Farmers Only, maybe. We're working on setting up the profile, but yeah, man. Anywhere you find anybody.
What's your IG, man?
Furlow Music, Furlow_music, FURLOW_music, and then Furlow anywhere else.
Yeah. Awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
We appreciate you sitting down with us, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you coming through, man.
Great time.
I feel like we kind of talked about a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry to kind of trauma dump on you guys.
Oh, no.
Hey, it's all right,
we love it, man. That's what we're here for.
Cool, man. No, y'all are cool people. I'm glad to
Send
meet
you the
y'all.
invoice after this.
I know,
Yeah.
right? That was a session. That was a therapy session. Actually, send it to my wife, bro. She'll take care of it. I'm just kidding. But no, I want to say I appreciate y'all, man. Of
course, man.
I'm happy that y'all are expressing yourselves. Like I think that's really cool. I think that anybody should find that outlet, and I'm happy y'all have it. I'm happy to be part of it. So I appreciate y'all having me on to kind of talk my shit. So
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we
appreciate y'all.
you, man.
Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you. I mean,
See y'all again.
yeah.
Nice
Nice to see y'all again.
Whenever you want to come through, bro, just let us know. We got
Shit,
you.
you let me know. We'll get it going. I should have worn my Nikes though. Can y'all see them Nikes, bro?
I don't know if they can see the shit.
If y'all can see the Nikes, they're both wearing some nice Nikes. I should have worn mine.
Yeah.
We might catch a sponsorship, so maybe next
Maybe.
time.
We'll get them next time. Man.
Yeah. All right, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate